I don't know, guys. I don't know what the hell just happened. What just happened on my TV screen? But what's going on, guys? Jeezy TV back with another video. It is like 3 o'clock. I realize that. That's kind of fucked up. Like, I'm up here making videos and stuff. We have 2 videos to make. I'm going to try to get these done in like 45 minutes or so. But, yeah, we got to talk about this movie. We got to talk about Barbarian. I just watched it, so it's fresh in my mind. Maybe I should start doing that more often. We'll see. My eyes are a little bloodshot, guys. I'm literally like tired as shit. Like, I'm ready to go to bed, but I had to grind some videos for you guys. Like, come on. I just had to do it. This was a movie that came out last year. You know, we watched Smile. That was another 2022 horror movie. And I saw Barbarian, and I was like, yeah, people are saying this is one of the best movies of 2022. And I watched it, and I'm not sure what to think about it. I think there's a lot of, like, undertones to it. There's a lot of messages to it that you don't understand on the first watch. But then when you, like, you're done watching it, I had a couple minutes to reflect. I was like, this could mean this, you know? It could mean anything. This movie seems all open to interpretation. I'm sure there's people that break down the film, and I'm gonna have to watch some of these like YouTube videos of people like breaking down the film. I'm gonna need this. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't know what is happening in this movie. But we're gonna get to the plot. This is a spoiler review, so if you're at this point in the video and you haven't watched the movie, go watch it. I think it was a pretty good movie overall. I just don't know how it's a good movie. I don't know. I don't want to explain my feelings right now. So Tesh Marshall arrives at a rental house in the rundown Detroit neighborhood of Brightmoor on the evening before a job interview. It's like pouring rain, and yeah, she gets to the door. It's been double booked, and it is already occupied by a man named Keith Toshko. So you watch enough horror movies where you're getting put into this like what appears to be like a cliche situation. Like, oh, she's staying with this guy for the night. It's like a dark web type of. It's a dark web type of like story. It's one of those things, and you think one thing's gonna happen and it doesn't. Like, and something completely different happens. This movie is full of twists. I love movies full of twists. Some of my favorite movies of all time have twists in them. Like Seven, one of the biggest plot twists in movie history. That is one of my favorite movies ever, and we reviewed that on the channel. I don't really know how to put like the tags on the top of the screen or whatever, but yeah. So initially unnerved by Keith, Tess warms up to him and decides to stay the night while Keith sleeps on the sofa. She eventually like gives in. She's like, all right, I'll stay with this guy for the night. I have nowhere else to go, and I have an interview tomorrow. Let's get some sleep. When she wakes up in the middle of the night, she is shaken to find her bedroom door has been open, but Keith is asleep and assures her he did not touch the door. So now at this point in the movie, it's like, okay, there's like a spirit in the house. And at this point, I'm like, okay, this will be pretty cliche. This will be like any other horror movie, but it's not. Like, I've never seen a movie like this in my life. It shocked me when I first saw this movie, which was like literally like a couple minutes ago, 5 minutes ago maybe. The next morning, Tess goes for her interview and is warned not to stay in the area near the house. Like, it's a bad place in Detroit, and she should probably tell that. I guess she got there in the night. She didn't know what the hell she was dealing with. But this area in Detroit, I mean, there's all sorts of, like, social commentary in there. Like, how Detroit's, like, an unsettling, kind of broke-down, run-down place to live in, I guess. Which makes sense. There's a high crime rate. Returning to the house, she is chased inside by a homeless man who yells at her to leave. And at first, she thinks this is the bad guy. This is the guy that's been causing the problems. Again, the movie just throws shit at you, and you expect one thing, and it's a completely different thing. She becomes locked in the basement and stumbles across the hidden corridor, leading to a room with a camcorder, a stained mattress, and a bloody handprint. So now she's getting really scared. Like, this is the first true red flag that has happened with this house. She's like, oh shit, something crazy has happened in this house at one point. Like, it's getting unnerving. It's like, what the hell could have possibly happened in this basement? And man, this movie's crazy. I don't know who came up with this, but you might be a genius. You might just have a wild imagination. I don't know. But Keith returns to the house, frees Tess from the basement, investigates the hidden corridor. He agrees, like, okay, I'm going to go down here by myself so you're safe. I know you're scared. Like, I'll go down there and investigate it for you or whatever, you know. So she was, like, locked down there the entire day until Keith gets done with whatever he's doing for the day. When he does not return, Tess follows him and finds a subterranean tunnel attached to the hidden corridor where she finds Keith injured, and it's so suspenseful. You know, she's kind of like progressing through this thing, and more doors are opening, and all this, like, all these crazy passageways are opening up, and it's like damn near a tunnel to the fucking, like, to China at this damn point. You might as well be. Now, I don't know how this is realistic here. This is the one fault in the movie for me right now. It's like, well, how... this is the fault. I'm like, well, how in the hell is this house going down here this fucking far? And there's all these, like, hallways and shit. It's kind of confusing. But yeah, she's injured. The pair are attacked by a naked, deformed woman. It's fucking decrepit. And they call this monster the Mother, apparently, according to the credits, who kills Keith. And he doesn't just, like, stab him or something. Like, takes his head, smashes him against, like, this rock wall, like, 50 times, and just leaves him in a bloody pulp. Like, it's disturbing. And you kind of notice a pattern as you're, like, progressing through this film. She only kills certain people, and those certain people are males. And that's what I'm starting to take out of this film. She only killed males. She never wanted to kill this woman. And that kind of talks about how women deal with males, and there's, like, this whole maternity thing. There's a lot of, like, concepts, like, floating in the air. A lot of things are making this movie what it is. 2 weeks later, the house's owner, actor A.J. Gilbride, is fired from a television series over allegations that he raped his co-star. So, yeah, he's gonna have to, like, sell all the houses, and he's gonna, like, pressure to sell assets to pay his legal costs. AJ travels to Detroit to inspect the house before selling it, measure everything. And he didn't realize all the secrets in this house. All he knew was there was this basement, the upstairs. He gets to the basement, and he sees, like, shit's, like, strewn everywhere, and, like people's things are still there, and he's calling, like, his rental companies, like, why the hell are there people's things here when I booked here to be in my place? And they're like, well, they checked out, it seemed. Well, they didn't check out, but it's clear we haven't heard from them. And so he goes in the basement, and he figures out there's the rope, obviously, that opens, like, the door, and he's, like, measuring everything, completely, like, unfazed by how weird it is that you have all of these. I don't even know if he noticed the handprint. It's weird how, like, casually he's just, like, strolling through the house here. I don't know. Maybe that's, like, does it say something about his character? I'm not really sure. AJ finds a hidden tunnel and tries to measure it, believing it may increase the house's value. The mother attacks AJ in the tunnel, and he falls into a hole where he meets Tess. So there was kind of like this, ooh, in the air, is Tess gonna die? No, she's still alive. I mean, you kind of knew she was the protagonist from the beginning, but then it switched over. Man, the way it switched over, like, I don't think it was a bad thing, but the way it switched from her and Keith getting attacked by the mother to, like, AJ just, like, riding in this Porsche, like, down the beach. Like, it's such a weird, abrupt change in tone. It's very odd. Maybe if I watch this again, I don't know, maybe I'll feel differently about it. I don't think it's a bad movie at all. Like, there's no way you're going to tell me that this is a bad movie after watching it. It's just, I don't even know how to explain this movie right now. Yeah. A flashback to the 1980s shows Frank, the house's original owner, abducting women, raping them, and keeping them captive in the basement. Or in the tunnels. So this house has a lot of history, tied to a lot of fucked up shit, right? It's not a good place to be at, and it's not just because we're in, like, shitty Detroit, like, shitty housing area, damn near Projects Detroit, or below Projects Detroit. It's because some fucked up shit happened at this specific house. All the other houses are run down. This house is still open. And that should be like a suspicion. That should raise suspicion in itself, honestly. But, yeah, we get, like, the origin of the house. So in the present, the mother locks Tess and AJ in a hole. and they're just like sitting there. Tess tells AJ that the mother wants them to act as her children, and she kind of picked up on that really fast. Sorry, my TV's blaring. She kind of picked up on that really fast, how she was kind of sitting in the tunnel, right? AJ is dragged away by the mother, who forcibly breastfeeds him, and like, I don't know why the hell, like, AJ was acting super ignorant about it all. He was like, no, I'm not drinking that. I don't know who this is. But you realize, like, maybe he didn't understand the implications of this situation, like how aggressive that monster is. Like, he could fucking die. But Tess uses the opportunity to escape the house with the help of Andre, the homeless man from earlier, who warns her that the mother will come after her at nightfall. This is the same man that chased her to her house to try to save her. Which, yeah, you messed up. Which, it's kind of like a curveball. This movie just threw a crazy curveball with that whole scene with that homeless man running after her. It was crazy. So with the mother distracted by Tessa's escape, AJ finds a room which the mother refuses to approach. Why am I having problems connecting to 2K? Like, I'm sorry. I know I'm doing this video, but, like, my goodness. Inside, he finds a bedridden Frank, assuming him to be another victim of the mother. So Frank is the guy from the 80s that we saw in the flashback. AJ assures Frank that he will call the police before finding evidence of Frank's crimes. He realizes, oh shit, these are bad people. These are terrible people. He knew that from the beginning with the mother, but he realized Frank's a part of it too. Frank kills himself with a concealed revolver, putting himself out of his misery. Someone found out what he did, and he just couldn't live with the shame of it all. Tess leads police to the house, but they dismiss her story and leave as night falls. That's kind of like the common trope in, like, the ghetto community. You know, it's what happened with, like, the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. It literally reminds me of what happened with, like, the Jeffrey Dahmer murders, and how that show, the show isn't the murders, but how, like, I thought it was interesting how the show, like, revealed that stuff. So, Tess breaks into the house, retrieves her car keys, and rams the mother with her car, seemingly killing her. Like, you think this monster is done. You think this mother is down for the count, but she is, like, damn near, she's probably immortal at this point. Tess returns to the basement to rescue AJ, who accidentally shoots her with Frank's gun. Panicked, obviously. He doesn't know what the hell to think anymore, who to trust. Like, it's completely understandable, of course. Like, they're going through, like, a hell right now. Yeah, they're this version of hell. Let's see. The two escape and find that the mother has vanished. Like, where the hell did she go? Tess and AJ then take shelter with Andre. Andre explains that the mother is a product of Frank's multi-generational incest with his victims, so they all kind of, like, it's like an inbred family. Like, he made babies with a bunch of women, and then those women made a bunch of kids with, like, the men that were born, and all this fucked up shit. It was like a fucked up fantasy. And whoever thought of this, you're fucked up. Like, let's be honest. But yeah, they all formed into this one, like, mother or whatever. I don't know. It's weird. The mother bursts in, kills Andre, and chases Tess and AJ up a water tower. She, like, rips his arm off. I don't remember what she did next. She just, like, ripped him apart. I don't know what the fuck happened. AJ loses his gun and pushes Tess off the water tower to save himself, because he knows that the mother cares so much about Tess that she's gonna jump off the edge and save her. Which, that scene was very goofy looking. The editing on that was probably the most goofy looking shit I've seen in a movie. That was the only, like, weird scene. Or not weird, like, stupidly, like, terribly shot scene. That was not a good, well shot scene. The mother jumps after her and shields her from the fall. AJ finds Tess is still alive, but as he tries to rationalize his actions to Tess, the mother revives and kills him. Sticks her fingers in his eyes, rips his head apart. Yeah, all these deaths are pretty damn brutal. The mother attempts to comfort Tess, but she shoots the mother dead with Frank's gun and limps away as the sun rises. So yeah, our protagonist seems to survive everything. And I don't even know what to say about this movie. It's so weird. I've never seen a movie like this. I'm telling you guys, it is strange. So yeah, the mother's trying to, like, comfort her. This whole time, she's showing love towards Tess. But obviously Tess has witnessed the murder of others. She's like, fuck no, I'm not bowing down to you or anything. But I mean, there's a little critical response. I mean, 92%, 7.1 out of 10, 199 critics on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, this is a pretty popular movie. Smart, darkly humorous, and above all scary, Barbarian offers a chilling and consistently unpredictable thrill ride for horror fans. I mean, yeah, this was a fucking thrill ride. If you like, that's putting it mildly. 7.8 out of 10, 38 critics on Metacritic. People liked this movie, I think, generally. C plus on Cinema Score, 70% overall positive, scored 54% recommend on Post Track. I like it, man. I think it's a pretty good movie. I don't know if I'd go back and rewatch it, but for the one-time experience and all the twists and turns and all the plot twists, I think it's good for what it is. I enjoy it. So, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Just watch this movie. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed it. I somewhat enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Jesus TV. I'm out. We are going to be covering more movies. We're going to skip a day tomorrow, but we are going to come back. Don't worry, we're going to be coming back Monday for